Banggood have kindly sent me the FQ777 and this is the FQ26. Now I like the FQ range of quads. They seem they're pretty cheap usually, but they actually fly really well. I've got lots of the little ones and I actually like them. So we're going to see how we get on with this one. This one is very much a different design, sort of a cube ball thing, as you can see here. You pop the arms out, which actually holds the motor, and you've got little prop guards on there as well. These aren't ducted fans, so they don't go up high enough for the ducted fan effect, but I suppose they're giving a little bit of help there. And in flight, it will obviously the motors are blowing the air down, so that's going to keep the arms up and sort of everything's going to stay like that. But if we have an impact, it's just going to fold in, and they're spring loaded, so it just pop back out again. So I like the design. I think it looks really cool. It's a bit weird looking with this sort of airframe through there, so I'll be interested in how it flies. And camera on the bottom there, it looks like it's got a serious nice little lens there. It hasn't, basically. They've just stuck a little bit of glass on the front there. I don't have any problems with that. It looks better than just a little tiny pinpoint sort of cameras that you can usually see. So yeah, I suppose it helps a little bit, but we'll see how good the quality is when we actually get it up on a flight. So nice little design, I like it. You've got 7mm motors here, so hopefully it will give us a reasonable sort of flight. Let's just have a quick look at the weight, and it's coming in at 47 grams, and that's with the battery on board as well. Now the battery is actually in a little area at the top here. It's sort of a battery unit, and the nice thing is it comes to you with this side plugged into here, and there's no connectors here at all, so it just literally just pops back in there, and then even if I turn it on here, it won't come on. So I quite like that idea. It's got a nice little touch there. The actual connectors for the battery are there, and we obviously go into there and then we'll power up. It's a single cell and it's 450 milliamp hour, so we just pop that in, and then you just pop these out and you actually see the LEDs working. There we go. And we got red at the front and blue at the back. Kind of weird setup. I wish I'd standardise it and just have red at the back. It makes more sense to me, but it's not difficult. Once you've flown whatever one you've got with wherever the colours are, it's very easy to get used to. To charge the actual battery, it's sort of a little charging unit there, so it's proprietary. You won't be able to change it very easily. You'd have to take this all apart. You get a little micro USB charging cable there. Simply plug that into there, and then you can pop that onto your power bank if you're out and about, or your car. You can charge it in, or on your laptop, or your mains adapter. Plug it in and then get it fully charged up before you go for your first flight. Other things you get with it, you do get a couple of spare props, and as you can see they're tri-props, and we'll see. I would imagine it's going to be pretty difficult to actually damage them. You get a good instruction manual, and it's really quite nicely laid out. If you're new to flying, it would help, certainly. And I'm going to cover everything that's covered in the manual actually in the review, obviously. And also it flies on an app, so you can fly it with your phone as well. The actual transmitter itself is really nice. It is all plastic, very sort of low grade plastic, I would say, and it is a cheap sort of budget quad. But this is quite nice actually. It's exactly the same size as my phone, so going to be quite easy to cart around. Or you could just fly it on your phone if you don't want to carry it. Pop the top bit out, and you can just pop the phone holder in the top there if you want to fly it using FPV, and you control the camera via your phone, so there's no camera controls actually here on the transmitter itself. It's brilliantly marked up. Everything is really well done. Got your on off switch here, and it's just literally a little button that you push on. It's an auto bind system, so we turn the quad on, then turn on the transmitter, and it will bind up automatically, ready to go. It's a mode 2 flight controller, so you've got, this is your throttle, so you push this up and the quad will ascend, pull it back and the quad will come down, push it to the right and the quad will pirouette to the right, push it to the left, it will pirouette to the left, and it's all proportional as well, so depending on how far over you go, depends on how quick it acts on any of the controls. You've got forward, backwards, and then you've got left and right, and that basically pitches forward, backwards, and rolls left and right. This one also has a headless mode, and I'll show you that when we actually get out on the flight. The only thing I did find about the transmitter and with the way they've sort of called things out is the speed one is down in there. I wish they'd sort of stuck it up here or over here somewhere. That's just being picky, and I fly a lot of drones, so but that is sort of quite difficult to see where that's going to go, especially if you were trying to look down at your transmitter and fly at the same time. So learn where these are first of all, I would suggest. You've got auto take 1 key takeoff and 1 key landing as well, and I'll run through all that when we get out on the flight. And then we've got the trim buttons all here, and as I say, everything is really nicely marked up. You do need a couple of AA batteries, and it doesn't come with them, so make sure you've got those, otherwise you won't be flying. And that's us all ready to go. So it's -5 degrees outside today, so let's see how this little fella gets on, shall we? Okay guys, sorry, I was lying there. It's not -5 at all, it's nowhere near it. It's -3. Hopefully you can see my breath. It's going to be cold test for me. Right, so first things first, let's pop the arms out on it. You can hear the plastic's really brittle now. And I'm going to flick the quad on. There we go. Actually, the LEDs aren't bad. They're looking pretty good. So I'm going to point it so it's going away from me there. And then I'm going to turn on the transmitter, and hopefully you can see the flashing LEDs, and now they've stopped flashing, so we're bound up with the transmitter. If you want to fly without the filming and just learn to fly like I suggest you do, then that's all you need. Don't bother putting your phone on, we can take off and go. But I'm going to actually pop the Wi-Fi on. Okay, so the quad will have set up a Wi-Fi hotspot, and what we need to do is just go onto that. So go into your Wi-Fi settings. And I actually tested this indoors just to make sure it was all working, and it's already reconnected to it. So this doesn't use up any of your data you're roaming, and you don't need to be near any other Wi-Fi spot. It's just literally a link between these two. Nice and simple. I like simple. And then we go on to the app, which is actually called FQ-FPV. Click onto that, and I've done a video on how to fly using an app, and I'll put a link down in the description for you. So just go live on that, and we should come up. Way, we're away. You see, that's not a very wide angle. It's a little bit wide, I suppose. Let me just... There's the garage over there, so I just look with my head cam, and you can see it's not particularly wide, but I've had narrower, actually. We're not going to fly it on the app, first of all. Just going to give it a quick go-round on the transmitter. Okay, so I'm going to start recording the video. And all we're getting is flashing pulse in there. There's no LEDs going anywhere else. So it doesn't actually count up the video there, which is interesting. That's not how most of them work. I'm going to press the 1 key takeoff, and off we go. So this is in low rates, always starts in low rates. And it's actually pretty good, actually. It flies quite nicely. I like to say those arms have sort of come out now. As you can see, they've levelled out because of the fans actually working. Sorry, motors and props are working. Yeah, there we go. I'm not expecting a long battery life out of this. So that's in, whoops, low rates. So I'm going to pitch forward, intermediate, and I'm going to go straight up into high. Hey, that's actually a little bit of a move on there. Rather nice. Let's try a flip. Whoa, God, it gives itself a lot of altitude, sorry. Whoa, you'd have a job in low ceilinged houses with that. And it flips in any direction. I'm going to show you this headless mode, so that's that one there. So simply press that, and now it's always that way. No matter, even if the quad's turning around, it's away. Forward is always forward away from me, and back towards, and then right and left. Not something I sort of recommend really. And I think we got flashing LEDs with that as well. So just simply press that to cancel that again. There we go. And the LEDs are quite good. I mean, I can see them, no problem at all. They're really quite visible. Let's do a little bit of a selfie. I reckon it will be exactly the same as if I'd... Whoa, that is really struck it again. There's no breeze in the garden much, really. There we go. Let's just try and take a selfie. Whoa, here we go. God, it really is slow. Oh, and the yaw's quite, it just suddenly comes on, so yeah, I'm not doing well there. Let's just drop the rates back down again. That's that one. There we go. Ah, now the yaw's easier. That's better. Let's just try a quick selfie. I mean, this is very bad
Oh, we've got flashing LEDs as well. Very bad sort of lighting for these little quads. And these little cameras as well. Got to pop the rates back up again. And it's got a return to home, which isn't going to be much. I mean, it's just going to come sort of generally back in this direction. There we go. And it's sort of working. To cancel that, just use the direction stick. You've got a landing one, which simply press that. It's exactly the same as just pulling the throttle off, so I'll show it to you anyway. So there we go. So if I press the landing one, I can still control where it's going to land. It will just come down. If I want to cancel it, just give it some throttle. So I just cancelled that at the last second. That's exactly the same as just pulling the throttle off. And as soon as it's finished descending, there we go. As soon as it sort of realises it's not going down anymore, it will just kill the motor. So I'm not too sure I've got enough power in there, and it is seriously cold out here. I'm going to turn that off. I'm just going to do a quick range test. That'll be fun, won't it? But it's looking forward to this. It's probably saying I'm an indoor. Hey, see now it goes up quite nicely. So that's 30 metres there, and I can see it as easy as anything. Yeah, it flies actually quite good fun. Yeah, it really does. So easy does 30 metres, no problem at all. Would you really want to fly this any further? I don't know, I think it would, to be honest. And the Wi-Fi is sort of pretty good. It's working. Again, it's very dark, but then we got a lot of white around, so the camera's sort of struggling with that. And I'm going to run the battery out just to see how long we get. And we've actually had flashing LEDs for ages now, so it's one of these ones that will give you a lot of flight time afterwards. Actually, that FPV is not bad. It looks quite a bit of jello on it, but I mean, it is just a toy grade, little bit of fun, isn't it? I would say it's, if you're new to flying, it's pretty good, I would have thought. Let's just see the bump test. Yep, absolutely no problem at all. You hit it from above or below or wherever. It's not gonna, it just sort of gets out of the way really. And the props, the guards are slightly going down when I touch them, but they're popping back up, as you can see with it as well. So that is actually not bad. I do like the look of it. If they did one that was like a metre across, it would look really smart. So I'm going to go and recharge that battery back up, and then I'm going to come out and fly on the app, because I'm just just enjoying getting absolutely freezing cold. Do you know, you feel quite warm when you're flying, I can assure you. Look at this thing go, it's actually pretty good. Whee! That has had an incredible flight length for what we're up to. Hey, look, funnels as well. Whoa! And it's friendly, look at that. Yeah, the pitch and roll is, I think we're going now. I've given that full throttle, it's just coming into land. So again, just let it, land on the floor, there we go, a little test there for you, just to show how durable it is. It is really durable, and honestly, the ground is rock solid. Not just because it's got stones on it, the ice has actually frozen it all together. So let's get this on charge, and then I'm going to come out and fly it on the app for you. Okay, so battery recharge, coming out for another quick flight. It will be quick out here as well, I can tell you. It's got quite a bit brighter though, to be fair. You do get a lot of reflection from the slope. So hopefully we'll pick it up on the Wi-Fi, but we'll just see how we go on that. There we go, yes it has. And it says it won't connect automatically, and then it connects automatically. So computers, eh? Who'd have them? So as you can see, hopefully flashing LEDs down in there go into the app. And launch the app. There you are, we're live. And same as before, you just have flashing LEDs until we actually turn the controls on this time, and then that means that we're bound ready to fly. So I'm going to pop them on, and there we go, the LEDs have now stopped flashing. You can, it's quite a basic app actually, which I quite like basic. Basic suits me down to the ground. This one, you can calibrate it here, so just drop down for the extra menus, press that and you get flashing LEDs, and that just calibrates the gyros, so just make sure it's set on somewhere level and it's ready, you know, and don't move it while it's doing it. I'm going to turn all that off, everything's working okay. I'm going to pop on the altitude hold, and let's just see how we get on. So I'm going to start recording again, though to be honest, at this part of the review I tend not to show that. I'm just going to show the screen just to show you how I'm using the controls. Auto takeoff there, and we're away. Hey, yeah, that works fine. God, it's really slow on the yaw, which is nice. Yeah, that actually flies nice, and you can still use the FPV as well. You've got 3 different rates here, so that's into intermediate rates. Let's just see how we go there. Actually flies really nicely. Yeah, lovely. That's no problem at all. So that's intermediate, and then that's high, and again, still nothing really anxious about it. Actually, I would say yours almost better on this than it was with the transmitter. Oh, my hands are so cold. Might not be able to control it quite so well. There we go. Oh no, it's doing okay. Yay, brilliant stuff. There we go. That's about all I need to really do with this, to be honest. It does flip, if that works. Yep, and it, like I say, gives it loads of altitude. Attitude, yeah, it gives it attitude as well, probably. I think it trims just slightly out, so I'm just going to move that over. There we go. That's perfect now. So it's just constantly drifting that way. There's no breeze in the garden now at all. So I'll just show you that flip again, watch. Way up it goes. Don't think I've actually had one go quite so high when it does it. Yeah, I'll do it at this level here. Whoop! Like I say, it goes up about 1.5 foot, I'd say. There we go. Let's just see how we get on for range, shall we? Like I'm testing this for range, like it's a, you know, a long range thing. So the Wi-Fi is already locked up. That's no big surprise. It might come back on, but we're still flying okay. Whoops! Hey, there we go. Oh well, there we go. It was still flying okay, and then it did actually go out of range, and the app stopped now as well. So there you go. You should keep it within about 30 meters. I was heading way over 40 there. After a crash, it's quite a good idea to calibrate it, but let's just see how we get on, shall we? So I'm just actually going to use a very different launch pad this time, I think. I'm actually going to use the phone itself. There we go. Let's see how we get on, shall we? There we go. So carrying, not only are you carrying a transmitter with your phone, you're actually carrying a mini launch pad. Quite if you could land it on it, I don't know. Never tried. I literally never tried this one. Hey, look at that. Perfect. So, launch pad and return pad, how about that? If return to home came back to my phone, that would be brilliant. So that's, yeah, that's about it really. That's sort of the review over. I'll be ashamed to see it go. I think it'll be very pleased to get indoors. So I'll do a full review inside, summary inside. Oh, we got flashing LEDs. But as you can see, it works pretty well. Should we just do one quick more range test and just see what happens this time? Yeah, so let's get heading on for another 30 meters there. Yeah, and it's still holding it, so it's still got control. The Wi-Fi's frozen up. Yeah, and it's just coming into land actually, so yeah. Hey, that was interesting. I've just picked it up actually, and it's started up again. And the Wi-Fi's all come back on and everything, so it will regain its signal and reconnect, which is quite good. There you go. And because it was sat for a few seconds, it didn't do anything. Just see whether I've got any power left in that battery. Yeah. So yeah, just don't fly it too far away. It's not designed to be flown too far away on the app anyway, and all it will do is just come down and descend, so that's pretty good. And one other test I'll just quickly do with it, just to see whether or not what happens when you go over. Yeah, it'll kill as soon as it gets to about around about 90 degrees. As you saw, the motors will just die automatically. So if you have a collision with anything and it starts to go over, it will kill the motors anyway. One thing I didn't do was the fly on the gyro. So let's just give it, I don't know if we've got any power left. Let's just give it a quick go, shall we? So pop it on your gyro, and then you got, hey, that's actually nice. That's actually got more blinking go in it than, yeah, that really has. I'm going to take the gyro off and you watch. Yeah, oh, it's about the same, to be honest. It's actually quite lively with that on. Yeah, look at that. It's really quite good. So literally just tilt your phone which way you want it to go, right and left, and you can do it at diagonals as well. So it's absolutely, that's actually really nice. And I do with the grandkids with this, because it gets a bit confusing when it's facing towards you. I just get them to turn round, or turn the phone round to the way they're actually flying it. So if they take it behind them, they can still control it. And you can still yaw it around, and you can still line up with it. So yeah, the kids like it that way. And you still could go up and down, and you can actually yaw as well, like I say, so you can turn as well. I actually finding the gyro is actually quite good fun. The kids love it. It does keep you on your toes as well, especially if you do what I do and then look down at your phone, because you tilt it towards you and then the quad comes flying back towards you.
Okay, so what do I think of the little cube? Well, I quite enjoyed it, didn't I? The fact it came out with me in freezing conditions and flew for... I got about a 5-minute flight out of it. I did about 3 in the day, and yeah, I actually got... it was 5 minutes around every single time, so I thought that was pretty good. I like the way it folds out the way and just sort of pops up. It's quite nice and cool, and it does a bit sort of cube-ish, and I like the fact you can probably just stick it in a bag. It's really not going to get damaged or anything. I was surprised at the LEDs, so they did actually work pretty well. So when you pop them on, even from the side, you can still see them through there, which I thought was rather nice. And you know, for orientation, you turn it round towards you and you can see them even with a little bit of light outside, sort of thing. Probably aimed at being an indoor flyer, isn't it, to be honest, with the way it's got the protectors built on and everything. But it flew outside and it did pretty good. The low rates is really nice and low, and if you're new to flying, that would be absolutely excellent. And the high rates, it doesn't really get that anxious, to be perfectly honest. It's not designed to be. It's designed as a nice little flyer. When you charge it, I don't think I showed you this earlier, when you charge it, I'm just going to use the power bank here, which I use when I'm out and about. When it's charging, you get a little red LED in there. Hopefully the camera will pick that out. And when it's fully charged, the LED goes off, which I like, because you actually know it's charged then. And it takes about an hour to charge. So indoors, I would imagine you get about 6-minute flight, because the temperature will be a lot warmer. And it's going to take an hour to charge, so it's not too bad. The transmitter itself was pretty good. Range was good on it, and it did everything it's supposed to do. And I like the way it's all marked up. And it was easy to use, nice and easy, and controllable as well, which I thought was pretty good. The flipping, just be careful indoors. It does ascend before it does the flip. It gives itself a little bit of altitude, and that's way over a foot it pops up. So if you're doing it near your ceiling, it will just hit the ceiling, so just be a little bit careful with that. The app did fail when we got about 40 meters. I measured it out twice, and it is about 40 meters. It will start to fail. You know, you shouldn't really be flying it 40 meters away, I suppose, would be their argument. And all it will do is just gradually come out of the sky. But it did rebind back onto my phone, which was good, which meant you could have got it back off again. So, yeah, all in all, it's quite nice, isn't it? Camera quality was 640x80, and I wasn't expecting that much out of it. They just put this sort of front protector on here, which gives the illusion of it being better than it actually is. So. There we go. So yeah, if this is going to float your boat, then go out and part with your hard-earned cash for it. If not, there's loads of other ones around the channel you can have a look at.